parking inside the House of the Five Senses.
That is really a VIP spot. My name is Joost.
I'm Jolanda.
From Dutch Theme Park Network.
And we're going to tell you everything about Efteling.
Let's dive in.
Everything about Efteling, everything new about Efteling.
Everything new about Efteling in this month's news update.
And there is so much to tell.
Yep, let's start at Winter Efteling.
We stayed at Bosrijk.
For New Year's Eve.
And that's our first time at Bosrijk. You think, how did that happen? We're such a big fans, but we live very close by. So until we had this channel, it wasn't really
necessary to stay at Efteling.
But we're so glad we did.
Oh, absolutely. It was a lovely stay. And New Year's Eve at Efteling, it's a really, really great place to spend New Year's Eve.
Amazing event.
We made an entire video about this evening, so make sure to check that one out, including the complete fireworks show. We'll make sure to link this video down in the description.
And we're going to make more videos. For example, what did we eat? Our stay at Bosrijk, of course. So much more to follow.
And we had breakfast and dinner at Eethuis, and that was one of the last possibilities to have dinner in the current version of Eethuis.
Eethuis is the restaurant at Bosrijk, and it's a lovely place, really good food, but it's going to close for...
till 3 weeks for refurbishment.
At the end of January, and so probably the entire February.
I understood half January till the beginning of February, but well...
In the coming weeks it's going to close. And it's 3 weeks, so we don't expect amazing works, but I heard they're going to bring in some light.
And it can use some light. It's a lot of brown and dark colors, so I can imagine they want to brighten that up a little. We'll make sure to check out the final results in one of our upcoming updates, so stay tuned. But there's more about Winter Efteling.
Yes, they moved the fire.
Yep, there are actually 3 open fires at Efteling, 2 at the Winter Garden and 1 was on the Max Moritz Square, but they moved that one over to
Ruigrijk. And at Max Moritz it was a really cozy place. I love the fire there. There were benches you could sit down, and of course Bakkerij Krümel and the entertainment was there. They still have a lot of winter theming there, and Ruigrijk lacked winter theming, so that's why they decided to move it over. I understand why they did it, but I think
I think it's a better place for the fire, and for sure Ruigrijk Square could use an open fire.
Some winter feelings, yes.
And they don't want to add another fire because of all the regulations about environmental regulations.
Yes.
They don't want to add a new fire, so decided to move that one over. But Max and Moritz Square still has its winter feeling with the snowman and the snowball and that kind of stuff. So
and the slide.
The slide, that goes terribly long. But well, okay, I can understand this choice.
I can understand why they did it, but still Ruigrijk is not the best place for the fire in my opinion.
But I think the complete Winter Efteling is a little bit easy this year.
Well, they're building up to something and they're adding new stuff every year. So last year, so 2022 I'm talking about, it's 2024 now. But in 2022 they released a 5-year plan leading up to King Winter. And we didn't mention him in our future video, but we're expecting him in the coming years, so that's a safe bet to add as well. You see, last year in 2022 they introduced the logo,
the snowflake.
The snowflake. This year they added the snow globes,
the snowflake.
The Create at the Warme Winterweide, the soundscape. So they add new stuff every year.
I'm curious where this is heading, but this year actually the real winter feeling is in the Winter Garden, and near the Winter Garden, okay, Anton Pieck Square is
really good as well.
The usual. They missed the open fire there as well. It can use some more winter theming, but let's hope they build up to something great.
Yes.
But something that is in that multiple year plan was also new prices on the Winter Garden. We heard an interview with the designer of Winter Efteling, and he told that the Efteling really looked which characters of Efteling will come out during winter, and one of them is Piotr.
We saw them last year as well. The little snowmen from Carnival Festival, they come outside. Great addition, I love them. They've got the winter pin of Piotr as well. And you can play hoops in the warm winter meadow or the winter area.
Winter garden, as they
Winter
call it
garden.
in English.
And you can win really big and heavy Piotr balls.
I like them, but
Yes.
I don't want to win any because I don't know where to stuff it, and I don't want to carry it around all day.
Oh, we saw someone win it. Really excited. Yes, I won. And he got the ball and he was, oh boy. And now you saw the realization of, I have to carry this around with me now.
And there's no
entire day.
souvenir express for those Piotr balls. So. But that's all for Winter Efteling for now. A new year means new prices.
I'm surprised actually because there are new prices and they've gone up a little bit. They're still not the most expensive theme park anywhere. It's still cheap.
It's still cheap. When you make a reservation, you can come a ticket will cost you between 38 and 48 euros,
Yes,
depending on the crowd levels.
depending on the day you want to visit.
And new in this system is that if you book a ticket with a date, you automatically get yourself a reservation.
Which is good.
Because
They're checking it more and more these days. You need a reservation if you go to
till the
park.
7th of January you have to buy a ticket on a date and make a separate reservation.
People forgot, it caused problems.
Yep. So now they've solved that. And you buy a ticket between 38 and 48 euros. And there's even a ticket of 41 euros. And there's a flexible ticket that has no date. You can come whenever you want, except for New Year's Eve, of course. But you can use it as well on the 31st of December on daytime. You don't need a reservation for that one. So that's actually meant for people who don't know when to visit or want to gift someone a ticket. Then you pay 51 euros and that is actually a raise of 3 euros per ticket. Well, that isn't that much.
I'm surprised because there isn't a mandatory reservation still for annual pass holders. So annual pass holders can come any day. And the annual passes, we spoke a couple of months ago that there might be a difference in annual passes. So right now there's one. And it's just valid for all days except some block days. And of course, like Disneyland, you can play and have tiers of annual passes, and they haven't introduced those this year.
They had a survey between pass holders, what they would like. So I was expecting those annual passes at the beginning of this year.
Yes,
But maybe they save them up till summer or maybe next year.
maybe, but it is curious that all the advertisements for annual passes have gone completely out of the park.
Yep.
They used to have little billboards and paid attention to the fact that you could get an annual pass.
But actually Efteling don't want people to have an annual pass because they have a lot of annual pass holders. Over 60,000, that's more than a park full. So if all annual pass holders would come on the same day, they really have a problem. So I think they don't want to sell that much annual passes. Well, creating tiers would solve that problem, probably, but
That's why I'm surprised.
Yep.
I would expect them to have added the tiers this year, but they haven't.
maybe later this year, we'll see.
Yeah.
But back to the tickets we talked about, there's something new as well, that when you make a reservation and you can't come on that day, you now can change your reservation yourself through
Go
the website. Go Efteling. I think that's a good step.
Yes, they got a lot of phone calls, so they erased the necessary. You don't have to call anymore, which is good also for people from abroad. You don't have to call the Netherlands to change your reservation. You can do it online. If the ticket is more expensive for the new date you want to come, then you have to pay some extra.
If you want to downsize, you don't get your money back.
No,
So, yeah, we're still Dutch. If you have a ticket for a more crowded day and you want to come on a less crowded day.
Then you have an expensive ticket.
Yep. But that's all for the tickets. I think it's a good step. Let's go over to maintenance.
Ooh, and it's downtime the coming months.
But let's start with the projects that are complete, because that's the nice part to talk about. First of all, we told about the problems at Symbolica. Some of the fantasy floats were out of order. They've solved that problem and you can choose your own route again. Yay!
Wait times have gone down immensely and you can choose if you want to go on a music tour or the...
Heroes Tour, Treasure Tour.
Exactly, stuff.
And another good thing at Symbolica is that finally we got rid of the big white tent in front of it. There were some works on the fountain.
Yes, it needed some works.
And they have finished those.
It looks beautiful again.
The fountain isn't working yet, but it will in the coming weeks or months. And that's a good thing. Now you have a view of Symbolica as it should be. And especially during winter with the twinkling lights on it, it's nice that you are able to make a video or photo without a big white tent in front of it. Also, another big white tent that is gone is with chicken on Peak Square.
Yes, it was there from one day to the other, and they're going to add contactless payment, like with Donkey.
Yeah, I think we will see that with all interactive paid elements in the Efteling in the upcoming years.
The Netherlands is very fastly moving to a cashless society. Of course, you still can use cash, you can use euros, but if you have a debit or credit card with a contactless option, you can basically pay it anywhere.
For sure. Another good thing, Carnival Festival is out of maintenance again.
Yes, and they tweaked a little scene. They added really big snowflakes in the igloo
scene just before you go down up to Africa.
There were little snowflakes, barely visible, and now you can't miss them.
No, and it's really a big change. I would like to hear from our viewers what they think about this new effect. But well, they did that, and I'm glad this dark ride is back.
They need it. It's in the last weeks.
With all the rain.
Yeah, exactly.
We had a lot of rain in the Netherlands. Another change, they made some improvements at the pavement in front of Carousel Palace.
Yeah, there are a few roads in Efteling that have asphalt.
Yeah, concrete.
I don't know the word, but usually they use little stones and decorative stones, but there are a couple of streets that have a need for bigger cars to go on.
Trucks and something, because you have to maintain. You have to maintain.
Supply the place. And they used a brown concrete, a little reddish brown instead of black, which I like, and they cut it down to the bare minimum.
Yep, and they added cobblestones at the sides and even make more room for new plants and trees. So
good thing.
More nature in the Efteling is always a good thing. I suppose they will do this on the complete street over there.
I hope so. Yes.
In the next upcoming months or years. And then there are strange construction works inside of the House of the Five Senses. On the right side, at the side of the toilets, they're building a new part.
They're building a new part and they're painting it now in really beautiful colors.
Dark, light blue, gold.
Yeah, I loved it. But we're not really sure what it's going to be. And that's interesting. We can speculate on a couple of things. They've got a temporary place to rent carts, buggies and wheelchairs. They might move that in the House of the Five Senses.
I think they will for the pool chairs, because people leave them everywhere.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of the extra parking lot and some people just pulled over their pool chair over there and left it in the middle of nowhere. If you want one, it's open air, you can get it for free. don't do so. But, well, the place where you can rent that was on the middle of the parking lot, and if you come out to the House of the Five Senses from another parking lot as the main parking lot, you weren't able to reach that spot that easy. You have to walk back. And especially at night, people leave their pool chairs everywhere. And if you have the collection point inside of the House of the Five Senses, just after you left the park, it's way more easy for the employees to ask people and to collect them up on front end.
It's also possible it will have something to do with reusable cups, but that's less likely because they've got machines, and we'll come to that later. So we're guessing here that it will be for like the pull chairs and maybe even the wheelchairs.
But I'm curious, do you think that this color scheme will pull over to the rest of the House of the Five Senses?
I hope so. I really like it.
So maybe some painting works there in the upcoming months?
Yeah.
It would be nice, because now it's really strange, because first you have the broken white and then over to the blue. So I think they will paint the whole inside of the House of the Five Senses again. Then some things that are almost finished.
Yes, the renovations of Sleeping Beauty's castle. I'm really looking forward to this one because it's also a big project. There is a big tent and scaffolding up at Sleeping Beauty's castle now, and it's really visible.
We can't see what is going on at the moment.
No, and it's just maintenance, so they've hinted it won't be changing a lot. The scenes will come back as we knew it, but they're going to add one little thing.
A new inhabitant for the castle, and they told you can see it from the new path that leads up from the gate, the Witch's Gate, to the Gnome Village, that you can see a new inhabitant of the castle over there.
And that's interesting because we've got the guard, the sleeping guard. Of course, we've got the witch, we've got Sleeping Beauty, we've got the chef and his little helper. So what will they add? Who will they add?
Yeah, I can only think about the prince. I can imagine a prince on a horse walking up to the castle.
That would be really cool. We thought it would be a prince, but it could also be a little animal, maybe, a sleeping animal. Or maybe a villager or something like that.
I don't see what that would add to the fairy tale.
We're hoping for a prince.
Let's hope so. And also,
it would be the second prince in the fairy tale, of course. We only have one so far.
The prince at Cinderella is the only prince in the fairy tale forest. They had a lot of princesses, and this would be the second prince.
Yeah.
Let's hope so. But also the renovations of Carousel Palace are almost finished. They already finished up the entrance of the steam carousel. Really, really nicely done. And now they will start to add the front paints of the palace. And the Efteling told us that this renovation works will take up till the end of February. So I'm glad that we can see the palace in its all glory. Then over to the works that's still in progress, and that's Piranha. Piranha will stay closed until the end of June.
Big maintenance. They're really taking down the rockworks, doing...
They have demolished all the rockworks, all the waterfalls, and the Efteling told her...
Rebuilding the engine, rebuilding everything.
They're putting up scaffolding to paint the complete building. So it is a lot of work going on there. And for sure, with a lot of extra effects when it will reopen.
Yes, we have to wait a little bit, but...
It will be worth it.
Yeah, probably.
And there's also a lot of maintenance coming up. And the 8th of January is a dark day for Efteling.
Well, let's start it. There is a lot of maintenance coming up, but it's, like I said, it's the quiet period of the park. So
it's low season.
The half of January, February, March is absolutely low season. And the park is open 365 days a year, every day of the year. So they need to do works when the park is open. And most works will be done when there are less visitors.
And they try to be finished when crowd level gets up at the beginning of April and especially the beginning of July.
Yep.
So what's coming up? First of all, Ravelijn. Ravelijn will close from the 8th of January till the 5th of April. This is actually their annual winter stop.
It's the horse show of Ravelijn. And will the restaurant close down as well?
I'm not sure.
Oh,
I guess it won't, but the show is paused because winter break and they don't fill up the theater completely. Most of the time
it's also really cold to sit there.
Yeah, but mostly they use this winter break to tweak the show. So I'm curious what we'll see when it will reopen at the beginning of April.
Especially because of the problems they've had, so maybe they will change the show again.
There are no announcements, so we'll have to wait for it. Also, the Flying Dutchman will close down from the 8th of January till the 29th of March. Also, this is an annual thing.
They need to clean the track. We're not expecting any changes here because they recently changed and did big maintenance and added a new scene, so this will be regular.
And I don't see how they can change the other scenes, because the first one is really impressive with the large ships. Then you're at open sea, well, it isn't meant to see anything. Then you come up in the mist, well, also there, it's working and it's doing its job really great. And the last scene is already taken care of last year, and that one is doing really great, if you ask me.
Yes.
It was a huge improvement, so I expect the annual maintenance, cleaning up the track, and make sure it will be ready for the next season.
Yep.
And then, of course, we already told you about George and the Dragon.
It was open in the last 2 weeks.
For the holiday season.
Yep.
And I rode it several times, and I was really, really glad to be able to ride George and the Dragon again. But it will close down from the 8th of January till the 26th of April.
Also regular scheduled maintenance.
This is the third phase of the large retrack maintenance. That was actually planned for the end of this year, but they could do the first part of it at the end of 2023, and they moved up this to the front of 2024. Well, and after this maintenance, George and the Dragon will be ready for many, many years. Yep. So we have to wait for that, but I think it's a good thing. And then some big news.
For the first time in forever.
For the first time in 72 years.
Yeah.
But, yeah, well, it was December when it happened. So for the first in 71 years, the Park of Efteling expanded.
They expanded their borders. They added a fence and the fence moved.
And they moved up right to almost to the highway. Because, well, this is part of the multiple year plan of Efteling to put new attractions in this part. The grounds are of Efteling property for quite a while, but last year the government said, well, go ahead.
You can build here.
You can build here. And that's the reason they moved up the fences. And this is really a strange thing, because now the Efteling Hotel
inside the park
is actually inside the park. So Grand Hotel Efteling won't be the first hotel inside the park, because the old Efteling Hotel from 1992 is actually the first one. They didn't. You're not able to access the new grounds. It's just the fence that moved up. We expect. Well, you expect.
I think they will announce it at the end of this year. Yes.
But for these kind of speculations, watch our video about our
future predictions. The glass globe. See that one.
We'll make sure to link that one down in the description as well. So, Efteling Hotel is now part of the park, and there's something new as well if we look at the deposit system. And we have to talk about that.
Deposit system, you mean the
plastic bottles
exactly.
and the cups.
You pay 15 cents for a plastic bottle in the Netherlands, but you can get it back. And getting it back, so far, you have to be outside of the Efteling. Mm-hmm. On the parking lot or inside the supermarket, you could get your 15 cents back. And they made something new.
And this is caused by new government regulations. The Netherlands is not allowed to use single-use plastics anymore since the 1st of January. So also the Efteling had to come up with something new. And what they decided is to introduce new cups for your hot drink from bamboo, and you can reuse that, but you can also return it, and you get your deposit back. On the small plastic bottles is 15 cents, and on the cups the deposit will be 25 cents. And they added 5 machines in the park where you can return your bottles and your cups.
Yes, you can, when you're Dutch, you live in the Netherlands, you have a Dutch bank account, you can download the Tiki app and get it right on your bank account. If you don't have that, you live abroad or you have a foreign bank account.
Yeah, or you don't want to use an app.
Then you can return it, get a ticket, and you have to use the ticket in the restaurant. So, for example, at Fabla, there's a machine there. You can return your bottles and your cups there, but you get a voucher and you have to use it in Fabla for, I don't know, a snack maybe, or something you can buy there.
Or a nice lunch.
For example.
You can find these machines at Toko Pagode, Vrouw Boltes Kuche, Fabula, and I miss near the, and I don't know where you can use that one, because there's one next to the shooting gallery at Ruigrijk.
Maybe the snack, the candy store?
The candy store. I'm not sure. Maybe we have to check that one out. And I miss one.
The White Horse?
The White Horse, yep. Restaurant Het Witte Paard has also a machine, and it's really easy to use. And they do accept the voucher. We tried ourselves.
Yep.
So make sure to recollect your deposit, because it makes your day at Efteling a little bit cheaper.
And of course, the bamboo cups, they're neutral, so there isn't an Efteling theme on there. Other parks have cups that are basically souvenir cups, which you can return as well, but you can keep as a souvenir as well.
And most of the times the deposit is a little bit higher, approximately around €1, and much people take it as a souvenir cup.
What do you think that Efteling doesn't do this?
I'm not sure, because we already have a reusable cup for the soft drinks. I can imagine such a cup as well for
coffee.
For coffee.
They had, you've got one there. They have had souvenir cups in the past, and
but you had to buy these.
Yes, but they're really cool, and we still use them. So
these are stone
cups. If you talk
cups.
about the environment, we've been using them for how many years now?
Well, more. Oh, wow! I think these cups are 15 years old or something.
Exactly. Do this.
Or do it with a nice reusable plastic mug as well. It's way more easy than carrying around a bamboo cup to reuse it or to leave it at a park. I think it would be better to make a nice, really nice, with a good design, and you can change it year by year, so it's maybe a real collectible.
Yes.
Efteling, if you're listening in, maybe as an option, you can take the bamboo cup or the souvenir cup as well. But, well, I would love to see souvenir cups.
And those stone cups you had in the past, yeah, like I said, we're still happy with them. 15 years, so there's nothing more.
They made one every 3 months, and well, you could drink your coffee. You could get your coffee served in this mug, and you can take it home. I would love to see such an action again. We have actually 3 years of Efteling cups.
And they stopped doing that, so it's a good time to start doing this again. Just our opinion.
Also new in the park, new frame boards.
Oh, I love those, yes. People didn't seem to be able to find toilets because they added a lot of and big signs.
Mm-hmm. First they put in a lot of brown poles in the park with signs.
The mystery poles, yes.
The mystery poles, and they were directing to the toilets, but those weren't that nice.
They added really cool signs now. In the old-fashioned style, we've got other signs like beware of pickpockets, and they've added toilet signs, and all different.
All different in the style of the area you are at that moment, and I love these.
Yes, me too.
I think it's a big improvement, and I hope this will help. Isn't that clear that it's a toilet sign? And there's a saying in Dutch on it, so...
But above there's still the sign, with the letters and toilets is
Yeah.
pretty universal. So
I like this
I
edition.
think people will be able to find the toilets now.
Maybe more of these signs. What I don't like about it is that they have removed the sign near het gemak. I love that sign with an old-fashioned loo, and that's gone in favor of this new board. But well, maybe it will show up in the Magical Depot.
Oh, maybe, yes.
That would be nice. And then over to a rumor.
A rumor, yes, about het Volk van Laaf.
Inside of the Volk van Laaf is the Lurk and Limoenhuis. This was an old bar, and they've served drinks there in the early days, but they closed it down because people weren't able to find it, and it wasn't that well
They served
used.
alcohol, a beer there, and you still find the tables, you still find the little house, but with a sign on it, and that says it's
Under construction.
under construction for the last 10 years, maybe longer.
And now it will be coming out of renovations, because the rumor is that the Efteling will reopen Lurk and Limoenhuis, but not as a bar, but as a new scene in the Volk van Laaf. And I guess it will still be a bar where we can see the lava, enjoy their beer.
Having some downtime.
Because we can see them make the beer at the brewery, and well, what would be nicer than see them enjoying their own products in the bar.
I would love it.
I would love it. I hope that the Efteling will announce this as a news fact instead of a rumor, but that would be really, really cool. And that would be the first time that something new is added to the Volk van Laaf.
Since they opened, right?
Since it opened in 1989, and it was, the original plans were to see this as a second fairy tale forest that would expand over the years, but it didn't expand for more than 30 years, and now, for the first time, they will add a new scene to this walkthrough, and I'm really curious to see what they make of it.
We'll keep you updated.
We will.
Another thing, is this rumored or is it true?
This is already announced.
Okay. The little candy store in the middle of the park will get a renovation as well.
Yep. They, by rearranging all the stuff, they will create more room for candy. So that's
I
a good
get
thing.
it. It was a busy day I think it was New Year's Eve even, and the store was really crowded. You can get the candy yourself, so you have to scoop it in a bag and then weigh it, and it was chaotic. It was full of people, and it's a lovely place, and I get why it's so popular, because you can get original Dutch candy there, old candies there, so it has some nostalgic value for our Dutch, and of course some really cool things for people abroad. So they have to make it more logical and
Yeah, I don't know how they will do it, but we'll wait for it. In January or February, it will close down for this renovation, and we'll check it out as soon as it's reopened and show it to you. So stay tuned for that as well.
And then on to the VIP parking, or
Well, not. It looked like a person from Tilburg thought it was a VIP parking.
yes, this was an incident, and it scared a lot of people, because we thought this isn't possible. You can't get your car up to the entrance of the House of the Five Senses, because it was in the house. It could have gone really bad if the driver intended something bad to happen.
Yep, and this happened on the second day of Christmas,
Yes.
Boxing Day. This person was at Efteling to pick up his children.
Oh, don't get me starting on this.
I won't.
Oh,
But
he was under influence
of cocaine. But he drove up the entire way to the House of the Five
to
Senses,
pick up his children.
managed to get through the gates, and he parked under the roof of the House of the Five Senses. Luckily, there are no victims, and nothing was hit or...
Well, except maybe for the children, but that's an entire difference.
The police came, and they solved it. He got himself a fine, and his driver's license were taken.
Invoked, rightfully so. This guy should not if you don't do drugs and
But-
drive people.
But especially, how do you come up over there? Because
It's quite
there's a kiss and ride in front near the buses,
Yeah.
at the side by the bike storage. How do you come up there? You have to come on the parking lot. I think he used the gate for the ambulances on the side, a ramp. But even then, why would you come up to the parking lot to pick up your children?
Now, the parking lot I get, not the House of the Five Senses. It's
Uh,
under the entrance.
And even if you come up from front, there are those large
The large
concrete.
they're there for a reason, of course, but the flower and the garden
Yeah, where they put in the trees, the large concrete pots.
pots.
And
right.
and those are there for a reason, because especially after 2002, the Efteling was afraid for terroristic attacks, and they added these to make it that you weren't able to drive up to the House of the Five Senses.
Well, they added some more.
Yep, and now they added some really ugly concrete blocks.
They will probably get more pots and stuff. It will be more beautiful in the future, but you had to.
Do it right,
Yes.
and I'm glad they do this right away. Don't
Everything
wait
for
for it.
safety. Yes, because people can get ideas maybe, but
But this was.
so no new VIP parking. Don't think to do this.
There is a new VIP parking coming up for the Grand Hotel. They're working on that, but
And you need to
wouldn't. And then you need to stay at Grand Hotel, but it wouldn't be under the House of the Five Senses.
No.
So don't try to park here. Then over to some better news. New music on streaming services again.
Yes, and it's really good. I don't know if you listened yet. Let us know if you did. Well, what do you think? Because this is really cool, new, and it was unannounced. It was there as a present.
Yep, the day after Christmas, the Efteling released all park music. So what you can hear on the paths and in the lanes. The summer, the regular version, and even the winter version. So I'm glad that the Efteling decided to release all these complete tracks and complete albums to streaming services. And we had several last year. We had Vliegende Hollander, we had Dreamflight, this one. Which one do I miss? There were more. And big surprise, the Efteling told us that there was more coming up in the new year. So we'll wait for new music. And it is really nice to enjoy this music at home.
More new stuff, new merchandise. The Dreamflight sweaters, we have to talk about that.
Oh.
Short while, they were like there for a week.
Not even a week.
No, they were sold out really quickly. And we predicted this because we thought, they are, first of all, they're really cool. And, Efteling doubled their usual order because they thought, this might be popular, and still not enough.
Not enough.
Close.
But as you saw, we needed 11 of those
Yeah.
to send abroad, not for ourselves.
Sorry, we're not going to do that anymore in the future. We've got a lot of requests of people, are you there? Can you buy one? And we thought, why not? And then we even posted, so if you want one, let us know. And we've got a lot of requests.
Mm-hmm.
So it took us 2 hours to get them and to not even to ship them. We took another hour to ship them, and it was a lot of work.
And a lot of people were mad at us
this
because why do you need so much trousers?
Trousers.
Not trousers, sweaters. Why do you need so much sweaters?
And I get it, because everybody who's there that day got a sweater, but if you came even a day later, they were gone. They had some in storage, they got to the park, and they were gone in several days. So a lot of people didn't get a sweater.
Yep, and I guess this will keep going for years, and I don't know why the Efteling doesn't expand much more.
They need to double down, because this is popular stuff. People want this.
But instead of these Dreamflight sweaters, they introduced new winter sweaters.
And they're lovely as well. Different, more one color, and they're easier to make. So the Dreamflight sweaters are intricate sweater, knitted. You can't order them now and get them next week. That's just not possible. The sweaters they have now, you can order now and get next week. So it's more scalable.
More hoodie-like
Yep.
sweaters. And they have a pink one with all kinds
The
of
curls.
the curls.
Yes. And the entrance, a little entrance.
And they have a yellow one with a snowflake on it.
Yep.
And that's more the child size, I believe.
No, there's this adult size as well, and also the. Oh no, not. Also a blue one, I believe.
Yep. And those are in stores for quite a while.
They will be there. Yeah, they have enough. And they're also, and we need to talk about the scarf, but later on. There are also new magnets and new cans. They're of Pardoes and the magnets.
Those magnets are glass magnets.
Yes.
And they have 3 sets. One of Ravelijn, one of the Fairy Tale Forest, and one of the roller coasters. And we love those as well, so we
Yeah,
got
I like
those
the roller
also.
coasters best, yes.
Those are really nice. Only €8 for 4 magnets, so really affordable.
Absolutely. And they've got 3D puzzles. And one is already gone. That's the Baron.
It's back again.
Ooh, good.
I checked yesterday, and they were all 3 were there. The Baron, Ravelijn, and Symbolica. And those are foam 3D puzzles you can make at home.
And there are also new tin cans. One of Pardoes and one of Ravelijn.
Yep.
It's fun.
And there was even special merchandise for people who stayed near Bosrijk,
On
property.
If you stayed in the hotel in Bosrijk or Loonse during Christmas.
Between Christmas and New Year's Eve, if you checked in the date, you get a large, beautiful blue box with Fijne Feestdagen, Happy Holidays. And inside you can get yourself a nice, warm scarf.
A blue scarf, yes.
Also with the snowflake of King Winter and several famous Efteling characters.
I love that you don't expect it. You don't expect a present when you check in, and it's so fun that they just go that extra mile and give you a little present.
I hope that they will do this from year to year from now on. It was a really, really nice extra, and I have heard several people who stayed on property that said, well, this shows that the Efteling really goes above and beyond.
And again, Efteling is so popular. If you have this and you don't care for it, you can sell it for a lot of money.
I saw some people bid €50 for this scarf.
Yeah, I would never spend it myself, and I would never sell it because I love my scarf. But yes, it's popular, and it will be a popular souvenir because it's very limited. And of course, people like us who won't sell it, it's a keepsake and a memento to a happy holiday. So it will be even rarer when people do sell
And
it.
it was a good warm scarf, so
Yeah.
I'm glad to have one. Another rumor.
Ooh, I love this one. Yes. One of my favorite fairy tales growing up was The Princess and the Pea. And it might come to Efteling.
There are rumors that the Efteling is working at a new fairy tale for 2025. It would be related to the Grand Hotel, they told. I'm not sure if it will be part of Grand Hotel or something.
It could be because the Efteling, the Grand Hotel is basically kind of a palace, or you could easily get a backdrop as a palace. And of course, the princess and the princess proved herself to be a princess by sleeping on a stack of mattresses and still feeling the pea. So it would be cool if it was like a part of the Efteling Grand Hotel, if you could, yeah.
It isn't announced yet, but
No.
Karel Wilmer would be the head of design for this one. He did Cinderella before, not one of my favorites. So, but even Anton Pieck made drawings about Princess and the Pea, so that could be the spark of imagination that...
I would love this edition.
Oh, I hope it will come true, and I guess it would be near... if I should place it, it would be between Hans and Gretel and Vrouw Holle, next to the toilet unit. That would be a great place.
That would be great. And talking about Hans and Gretel, you didn't mention it at maintenance, But they're going to demolish probably.
They have a
Yeah.
permit for a complete demolishment and rebuild of Hans and Gretel.
Don't be scared. Yeah, they're going to rebuild it.
They completely rebuild it with in the quite same style as it is, so don't be afraid. But they have a permit to do that, so I expect that to start right after Sleeping Beauty.
I think so. Yes.
That they will finish up Sleeping Beauty and move over to Hans and
Gretel.
Gretel.
And then maybe next Princess and the Pea for 2025.
Oh, it would be nice to have a new fairy tale. I love the latest edition, the 6 ones. They did a great job with the Emperor's New Clothes.
And I expected, if I had to guess and make a prediction, I would expect the Ugly Duckling as a next fairy tale, because the director of the park always said it's my favorite fairy tale.
Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
But then over to some updates about Grand Hotel. We were talking about it. Well, maybe it will house a house of fairy tale.
And they're going to start works very soon, are the rumors, and
we're waiting for this for over 6 months now. So
I believe them because the building lights are up now, and they've gone up pretty recently. So we see the beginning of movement at the Grand Hotel.
But
site.
during the holiday season, the working grounds were used as a parking lot.
It's creative.
They needed some space. It was really, really crowded. And this is a smart way. Well, if you don't use those grounds, then let people park on it.
Also VIP parking, by the way, because it's very close to the entrance.
But it transformed into a parking lot, and we hope that we'll see start of works in January. We've heard late January. It moved up a little. First we have heard right after the holiday season.
Yeah.
But there's another delay of 2 weeks. But we should see some works in the near future, because otherwise they won't make 2025 as well.
It's a safe bet that they're going to start this year.
But we expect that in the next news update at the beginning of February, we can show you the first real groundworks of Grand Hotel Efteling. Then over to another large project, the Danse Macabre.
This was unexpected but really cool, and I'm feeling for the employee of Nike's.
It's not Nike's, it was another company. But let's tell the complete story. There isn't that much to see on the outside of Danse Macabre. They are working on the outside of the building. They're finishing it up. The works are at Koetshuis, where we can buy ourselves cotton candy and popcorn in the future. That one is going up really quickly, but, well, we can show you, but not that impressive. The most impressive news update about Danse Macabre was the unexpected new animatronic.
The reveal
of a new animatronic. And we already knew him from the Spookslot. But there was an employee of a company that was maintaining the sewing machines. And he came up to the Efteling, and of course it was quiet there because of the holidays, and he posted a photo of himself where he was saying, well, during the yearly maintenance, I'm glad someone is watching over my shoulder to look if everything's going right. But what the person didn't know was that this was an animatronic for Danse Macabre. And he posted it online, so we as fans are really happy, but
really excited. I think it will be in a new making of, because the Efteling, well, it's out there. So we know it's coming back and it looks really good. But of course, I think the employee got at least, that's not supposed to.
And it isn't supposed to happen, of course.
No, there are contracts and there are fines. And so let's not speculate what happened there, but we as fans are very happy.
What we can see on this picture is that this is one of the 3 judges we saw in the old Spookslot above the monks. And this was the most right one. It is a complete new animatronic, because they made some changes, but it's clear this person. So I hope we will see the other 2 as well. Maybe as a jury for the music concours.
Of Wallace and Gromit.
they look like those, but no, I think they will be the judges as well. But from the music contest.
We don't know what happened, but it would be fun to, yeah.
So this again proves the tender love and care that the designers have for the old Spook Slot, and that they really try to make a new attraction with the old feel and the same feel that we had at Spook Slot. So I'm sure it will be part of the new making of. So I think the Efteling moved up that episode.
Probably.
And are now
I'm guessing I'm guessing February.
February.
Really one.
For the 14th of February,
Valentine's
Day, the Laaf of Spook Slot.
Maybe.
As a theme, what we'll see, what is recognizable from the old Spook Slot. Let's hope so. So, that rounds up this
month's news updates.
And we would love to hear from you. Do you think The Princess and the Pea is a good addition?
Or would you like another fairy tale? Let us know down in the comments.
And don't forget to give a thumbs up to this video or review this as you listen to this as a podcast. It would really help us out to spread this to a broader audience. So that's all for now. And we hope to see you in the next one. See ya!